Invasive knotweed is well known as a tenacious plant that is really tough to kill. Unfortunately, it thrives in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. One of the best ways to control an invasive knotweed stand is with weed killers or herbicides. People familiar with applying herbicides to invasive knotweed know that getting a good initial application of the herbicide is critical. In this video, I suggest that people consider treating invasive knotweed in the driest part of the summer in the Pacific Northwest. People familiar with using herbicides on invasive knotweed may ask, how can this be? As anyone who has worked on invasive knotweed knows, the generally accepted recommendation is to treat knotweed in autumn if you are doing just one application in a year. There is a second rule my recommendation breaks, namely one that says weeds become more tolerant of herbicides during a drought. So why go against these two rules? I'm actually not arguing these general rules are wrong. Instead, I'm pointing out a possible exception. That exception may exist if you do the application during a drought and if the method used to apply the herbicide is stem injection. I discovered this timing when I injected herbicide into several stems in a stand of knotweed in July of 2023. At the time of this application, there was a moderate drought. I was testing our new injector and injected 3 milliliters of undiluted aquatic glyphosate into a number of knotweed stems. When I returned to the stand about a month later, I saw that the injected stems had all died. The dead stems are to the left of the dotted red line in the photo. It may look like some of the knotweed on the left survived, but the green leaves you see are grapevine leaves. Much more interesting, however, was that a large number of knotweed stems that were untreated also died. Moreover, some of these untreated stems were as far as 8 feet from the injected ones. For anyone who has experience injecting knotweed, this is highly unusual. The best invasive knotweed guidance counsels that you inject every stem with 3 to 5 milliliters of undiluted herbicide concentrate. You are also advised to treat the stems that are too small for injection by other means, for example by wiping herbicide on them. The only explanation I can think of for these results is that during a drought, the knotweed stand wants to share the water from the injected solution with other stems in the stand. Invasive knotweed can accomplish this sharing because knotweed has underground rhizomes that connect many or even all of the knotweed aerial shoots in a stand. It seems likely that during a drought, the knotweed clone wants to share the water from the herbicide solution injected into the stems of one clump with other stems in the clone. Research indicates that in its native habitat of Japan, for instance, Japanese knotweed does share resources such as nitrogen. According to Adachi and colleagues, this likely is a survival strategy that makes the entire clone more productive. In addition, it may be that the hollow center of the internode in a knotweed aerial shoot may serve as a reservoir for water that can be shared during dry periods. Thus, with injection, you are putting water and herbicide directly into that reservoir. Why focus on the Pacific Northwest? There is a predictable drought almost every year in this region. Many places, such as Portland, Seattle, and Vancouver, have Mediterranean climates with dry summers and wet winters. This contrasts with a city like Boston, which has much more even precipitation year-round. Thus, in the Pacific Northwest, people may have the best opportunity to try out this timing for stem injection. There's one significant caveat. Can this case study that I conducted be repeated? I have only been able to try this method of treatment one time. Moreover, the location of the knotweed stand that I treated was in the Midwest. However, if this method works, it opens up many possibilities. The first possibility, could less herbicide be used for injections to knotweed during a drought? The labels for aquatic glyphosate indicate using 5 milliliters of undiluted aquatic concentrate. Many applicators, including me, have used 3 milliliters with success under normal circumstances. This case study indicates you could even go below 3 milliliters during a drought. The second possibility, could fewer stems be injected? It would be a huge time saver if fewer stems could be injected without unduly harming the success rate of the treatment. The third possibility, should more water be injected with the herbicide to increase the sharing of resources within the invasive knotweed clone? Maybe it makes sense to inject 6 milliliters of a 50-50 mixture of water and aquatic concentrate instead of undiluted aquatic concentrate during times of drought. If you decide to inject herbicide into invasive knotweed during a drought, please comment below and share your results. If you are with an organization such as a university and do rigorous research on invasive knotweed, please consider this as a possible research project. I hope this presentation helps you in controlling invasive knotweed.